From a PK perspective, building off what you guys were able to do against Pittsburgh, what worked that night as you guys continue to get better moving forward toward the end of this month?
At times we did a real good job of not letting them get set up. We took a few too many in the first half. I think we took 3 in the first half and then didn't take any after. So that was good. We obviously had a run of games, 5, 6 previous, where we gave up a goal every other game, or a couple in a row, I think. It was a couple of weeks ago now, so I don't remember as well. But, you know, staying out of the penalty box is a big key. But when you do have to get out there, I mean, the better job you can do not letting them set up and get a shot, the better off you'll be.
The art of blocking shots, how has that come over the years since you've been in the National Hockey League? Is it to go beyond fear? There's obviously a skill set involved here.
Well, if you count standing in the way between you and the goalie as a skill set, then I guess that would be accurate. I mean, it's more about where you're positioned at this point. I mean, the way, at least on the penalty kill, it works is if the other team makes enough plays, there's usually a defenseman standing close to the net in between the shooter and the goalie, and sometimes it hits them. So it's one of those great joys of how the game has developed over the past 10 years or so.
Does the thing of mind over matter with it, though? Like, you know you're going to get hit eventually 2 or 3 times a game, maybe.
They tell me where to stand, and then I stand there, and then if it hits me, then that's where it's at.
Ron, how have you felt about this stretch here recently? You haven't played a lot of games. Have you enjoyed that fact, or has it been a challenge?
I mean, I like playing the games. I think it just keeps you in a better rhythm, playing kind of every other night, and maybe you get 2 days here or there. Having said that, with the 2, we had 2 real good practices last week, and then the Saturday game, I mean, a lot of us felt really good, at least from talking to everybody. Felt like we had really good legs. So it depends how it's spaced out. I mean, this kind of odd having this kind of a break late in the season. We obviously had a harder on grind earlier on. But overall, I mean, my preference is kind of to play every other day and maybe get 2 days after a Saturday game or something. But if you do it properly, I mean, our staff's pretty good, from the coaches and the training staff, at trying to maximize these breaks. You know, so we maybe practice 50 minutes, kind of hard one day, and then 30 the next, and that seems to have been pretty good for guys' legs, at least at this point. It worked on Saturday, so hopefully we're in good shape going forward here.
When you have a schedule like this, does it have to be a certain mindset getting back into it and having the intensity right off the jump when you have a few days off?
Yeah, you try. I think the first 10 minutes of the Pittsburgh game weren't especially great, but they played a little more previous than we did, and you're kind of getting caught up slightly, and then the next 30, 40 minutes were really, really good, and the guys overall, from talking to everybody that I did, felt really good. So it's we'll have a big challenge with this team tonight because they're going to be ready to play. They played last night, and they're right in the thick of a 4 or 5 team race there in the West. We're aware of that, and they're a very good team. So we're expecting we better be ready off puck drop here tonight.
What have you seen out of Riley's game, sort of maybe from the start of the year till now? Have you guys had
another Riley game question? Well, it's been 70 games now, so this would be a longer answer than the previous 100 or so times I've answered it. But, we've got to continue to get out of our end as quick as possible. We're best when we have the puck on the other side of the red line as opposed to defending for a minute or 2 at a time. And so we'll continue to focus on going back, talking, breaking out quick, getting it to all these great forwards we have, and hopefully playing some offense.
You did a pretty good job containing that Stars top line the first time you guys met. What makes them a challenging line to go up against?
Just great players. They're obviously put up the numbers they do and have the reputations they do for a reason. They're very difficult to stop totally. You got to keep them as far away from your net as possible, and preferably in their zone if you can, and hopefully try to score against them as opposed to get scored on.